We back, man. It's an episode of Strictly Streets TV. Today we covering the GREENPOND Massacre that happened down here in GREENPOND, South Carolina. So we got to speak with the owner of the house, Mr. David Magwell. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good today.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
So, Mr. Magwell, how long have you been in GREENPOND? You grew up here?
Yeah, I grew up here.
You grew up here? All right, what was times like back then, growing up?
What the time been like?
Yeah, growing up around in GREENPOND back then.
Man, it was rough back in them days.
Yeah.
But that's been back in the 60s. And back during that time now, it was kind of on the rough side of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And well, a lot of people have it a little rough, coming up. But then we can't compare today, back then. But back then, we had a good life, and everybody was one.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, it's a little bit different.
Right.
I ain't gonna get into all that detail now. But anyhow, back then, it was good life, good living, and it took me probably about 24 years
Mm-hmm.
to build that house there, because every time I get a little money, I put toward it, and
Right.
and save my little money.
Right.
And then sometime, I might have $2,000 or $3,000 done saved, fixing to put into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then something else ain't come along and take that. So
Yeah.
now I got to wait. But that's why it took me so long to build it. But, I thank the man upstairs
Right.
that we still got it.
Right.
He fight me now. And I had a lot of my family and my friends them.
Mm-hmm.
Manny goes from out of Spring Hill. I mean, we worked in the house there, man, in the wee hours of the night.
Yeah.
Trying to get it straight. And I think it was one Sunday afternoon. I wasn't finished it yet, but I had a very close friend to me and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
His nickname is the Barnyard Rooster, and his name was Harold Blodgen. Okay. He came over one Sunday afternoon after church.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were sitting around talking, laughing, running mouth. And he is the one persuaded my mom to move in that house. We was living in a little house kind of over on the side there,
Mm-hmm.
House kind of cold, but that's why we kept wood.
Right.
Okay? Keeping it warm. But the wood didn't do so much, because a lot of time the wood run out.
Right.
And if you run out the wrong time, now hell, I can't go in the daytime to hunt no wood. If you ain't got them in that house, then you kind of in trouble till the next day.
Yeah, you gotta go through that cold for the night.
It got though. That's right. But anyhow, all of that went along. But the main thing, we was satisfied and we was happy.
Right. That was my next question. Like, how close was the family during these times?
Oh yeah, man, we was one.
Right.
We was one. All of we.
So we discussing, the past, and then I want to know, we want to bring it forward into the tragedy that happened here, and listen, that you saying that you took so long to build this house, and how much it mean to you and things like that. Coming up on the tragedy that happened, what was your thoughts? Was you here? Was you in the area? Did you get a call about it? How was you alerted that this situation had happened?
That Saturday night, some 3 years ago, coming in to Sunday morning, my little, I call him my nephew because he always honored me as his uncle, little Ryan. And that Saturday night, approximately 11:30, he came up and came in my little shop over there, sat there for a little while, and we talked for a little while. And he said, Uncle DL, he said, give me a drink. But I ain't got no money.
Mm-hmm.
I reach him a bar and slide him the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Go with it. And he got him a cup and poured it 3/4 full. Sat there and take a couple of shots out of the cup. Then he got up and left.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't seen him anymore that night. But approximately 12:15, 12:20, then I shut my little shop down.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in this house. And I ran around there and talked to Mama for a little while. And I told Mama, I said, well, I'm going now, but see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I kiss her on her forehead, leave her sitting in the dining room in her recliner. And when I came back to the living room, and then my niece Michelle was fixing the little one's hair. But she had probably about 4 of them here. She was braiding. And I said, God dog, Shell, I said, look, you got a load on you. She said, yeah, and I can handle it. I said, I can tell that, big as you is, I can tell that. But anyway, I told him good night. And I left going on back into Waterbury, where I stay at. And seemed like it been 7, 8 o'clock. Somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock, I got a phone call from a neighbor, Aquila Blue. She called me and told me, said, David, your house is on fire. It's on fire? She said, yeah. I said, well, call 911. And I on the way. Jumped out of my bed and put on some down pants and stuff and went to my truck and got in the truck. When I get in my truck, I realized I have a 1-footer shoe. I got back in there, got my other footer shoe. Whew, come on to GREENPOND. And I mean, well, it took all of the sweetening out of my candy when I got here in the GREENPOND.
So what was your thoughts when coming here and you seeing the house is actually burning? Like, what's going through your mind at this point?
All hell. But I did not knew how it happened or why it happened. I didn't knew that. So now I'm looking around for my family, and I couldn't see none. And my little niece that somehow God's angel blessed her to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Then I asked her if it was my mama. And then at that time, she told me Mama is in the house. But half of the house was burning pretty good.
Mm.
And we had the fire people down here. They done a fantastic job. So far as trying to get it cool, but my family was gone. Now that wasn't good at all when I realized that.
Right.
But wasn't nothing I could do. And the way the house was burning from the kitchen part, then I was thinking some of them could have leave a pot on or something of that nature.
Right.
You know, I still yet didn't know what was going on, not until directly, but when I found out that, you know, my family in there, you know, they was kind of like murdered. You know, ain't no smoke and fire killing.
Hmm.
It was like murdered. I said, ooh. And I realized my mama, she 100 and something years old. I mean, from the time I know her, she wasn't nothing but a loving lady.
Right.
I mean, I wonder why somebody could want to put a knife in her side. I mean, I yet don't understand that.
Yeah, that was my next question. I wanted to ask you a bit about after you get here, you seeing the house is on fire and everything like that, and then you not seeing your family, and you not knowing how the house, caught fire. So leading up to how did you find out what exactly happened here?
Well, I found out later on from some of the firemen with my niece that escaped.
Mm.
My niece that escaped, she told EMS, he told the sheriff, and I think it was 3 different people she told. I think it seemed like they had airlifted her into Charleston. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 3 different people she told that story to.
Mm-hmm.
Carleton County Sheriff and Carleton County EMS. And I'm thinking when they was taking her to, transporting her to Charleston, she told them the same story, the exact same story.
Mm-hmm.
That, the little boy molested him or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, after the little boy was molesting her, he thought that he had killed her, but she had multiple stab wounds in her body. And she told them that she looked at that young man after he done did what he did. She looked at him, light the tablecloth on fire, and when the tablecloth get to burning good, he lit the curtains.
Mm.
And when it get to burning good, and then he escaped.
Right.
And shortly after he escaped, then that's when she got up, frightened to death.
Mm-hmm.
Looked around, ain't had no help hardly. And then she went and got into her mom's car in the back seat and hid until the neighbor next door come out to maybe take mama to the church when she finds out what was going on.
And at this age, how old is she?
Now, I don't know her age. 11 probably, or 10, something like that. But she, young girl now, I'm thinking she's 10, 11, 12 years old.
Okay.
But I think it's more like 11 or 12 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, and you find out what's really going on here, like what's your initial feeling at this point? Like, how do you deal with knowing that your mom was in the house and she didn't make it out, and other family members? Like, what's going through your mind at this point?
I don't know if I would tell you that, but it wasn't good, I can tell you that. It wasn't nothing good now. When I found out what was going on, ain't nothing in me good. Nothing.
Right.
Okay? But, I managed to kind of deal with it. It's just rough. And that is on the rough side of the mountain right there. But, I thank the Lord for everything. Okay? And I also understand life.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Okay, because everybody that's a living, they got to die. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You ain't gonna leave here alive.
Yes, sir.
Okay? We use here on a borrowing time and here for a while.
Right.
Okay? It ain't nothing wrong with the world. It's the people.
Right.
Okay? Because I enjoy the world. I love whatever I do. Hunt, fish,
Right.
fooling around every now and then. Man, that's good.
Right.
Okay? But I also realize one day you got to come to an end.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And I live for today, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow don't promise.
Right. So being out here, this is still a spot that you come to every day,
Every day.
every single day.
I don't miss it.
So with being out here, like I know it had to be hard, for that first time coming back here after this, coming back and seeing what you built and how the tragedy that happened and everything. So how do you cope with that on the daily now?
Well, for number one, I trust the man upstairs. All right,
Right,
that's number one. Okay, and every time I comes up, I look all right. I can't help but to see it.
right,
Okay, but I ain't worried about that. All right.
right,
What I'm worried about is being here and see what I see.
right,
Okay. Now I also, had a thought in the back of my brains that if the Lord had choose to, He could have stopped that. Okay. But then I also realized that Jesus said that His will, it must be done on this earth as it is upstairs. So He allowed that to happen for whatever reason. Now that's a reason I don't know.
right,
Okay, but He allowed it to happen because He could have stopped it if He chose to.
right,
But He had wanted that to come to pass.
right. So moving forward in life after the terrible tragedy that you went through, and you got to witness a little piece by coming here, seeing the house, in flames and everything like that. What would you say gets you through your everyday at this point now, and pushes? Because I know you still think about it, but what kind of keeps you motivated to keep going, and it ain't just got you all the way down?
Oh yeah, and a lot of my family members tell me that same thing. Say, well, DL, I ain't never see you break down. You ain't never see me break down. You ain't never see me break up either. Because I understand life.
Right,
Okay, life must goes on. Now, I mean, every day I comes here, I see things, but then you see, this is where I was born and raised. Okay, this is like a history. All right, to me.
right,
All right, I've been here all my life, and because this tragedy happened, I just ain't gonna give up, stop living, or go move somewhere else. No, this is home for me. Okay, and I'm gonna live here until I can't live anymore.
right,
And when I can't live anymore, then I leave it up to William and his little son coming along, and maybe my other son David and the other David and the other David, the little children coming along. Let them try to do something with it.
Yeah,
If they don't want to do nothing with it, hell, I had my fun.
yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man.
So, I'm hearing that the trial is coming up for the person accused of causing this tragedy. What would you say? What would you say would give you justice about the trial?
Well, that's kind of hard to say too, because you see, the law is the law. It's in the law hand. Okay? But I'm thinking, that the young man should be put to death. Okay? Because he demolished too many people.
Right,
Okay? If one of those persons had did him wrong, just one, and he happened to took their life, so be it. Okay? I understand. But to go into that house and do what he did, I'll never understand it. And I would hope that the law would. Okay? When the trial comes up, I don't know when the trial is going to come up. I've been to a trial here some 2 months ago, over into the Bluffton area. And, the law over there states that, they got things that long, that deep, that they still working.
yeah,
Well, somebody else may look at it to say, well, the boy should die. Some of them saying the boy should spend life in prison. I mean, I don't know. It's just that the law gonna have to be the one to handle it. And I would hope that the law would see it. I hope that the law would see it the way it ought to be seen. Is all I'm asking.
So if that choice, the last question, if that choice was in your hands to decide the fate of that person, what would your choice be for that person?
Well, I'd have to put him to sleep. I'd have to put him to sleep. And if it was my way of doing it, I would let him feel some of that wrath. He need to feel some. Okay? He need to maybe feel a knife wound. He need to feel a little bit of heat. And if I had the power, I'll put a little bit of both to him. I don't, I'll say this much too. His mom and dad, I know them well. Okay? And I'm sure, his mom and dad did not taught him that.
Right.
Okay? He picked that up over there.
Right.
It's kind of out of my hand.
Yes, sir.
But you could ask anything you like.
Well, that pretty much wrapped it up. I just want to know exactly your thoughts and feelings. Like I'm saying, being that you're here every day and you lost so much, and dealing with that, I know is real hard.
Well, it is.
Yeah. So I want to just really just have your take on that and just to see how you feel. And it's good to see that you're in good spirits about stuff. You understand, like how you say, how the world works.
Right.
You understand how everything works. So we appreciate your time and we thank you for having you.
Amen.